All right, guys, I'm gonna show you, this goes way back from like my white and blue belt days. I got in those times, and even a little bit into purple belt, I got to train a lot, several times with Hobson Moore, right? Had all of his DVDs, his curriculum, everything, right? My coach, Danny Green, was one of the first guys to bring him to the United States for, if not the, I think he was the first guy. Like brought him over, he did a seminar, and then he ends up staying. It's like 2007, I believe, right? It's a long time ago. But you know, got some, like, that's back when Nova Uniao was big, and my coach got his first 3 degrees from Andre Pederneiras, right? When Nova was just huge in the jiu-jitsu scene. So got a lot of exposure to Hobson and Shaolin and Fei Zhao and these great coaches at that time. Bruno Bastios, the list goes on. And those guys are still around. My coach just taught a seminar with half the people I just named. Bruno was the only guy and he was supposed to teach there and didn't make it. It was like last year, and funny picture during and Hobson, like in the picture, and Hobson's like doing this to Dring, got his hand on his knee. I sent Dring a picture. I was like, man, I wish Hobson had his hand on my knee like that, right? But Hobson Moore is such a legend in the martial arts. Like, I just have always really enjoyed his perspective. Okay, this is from Z-Guard, a half guard, right? And he's the first person I ever saw show it this way. I've seen it since. But I just remember watching, I'm like, how is he gonna get into a triangle? I'm like, my white and blue belt mind, I'm like, how? I can't even see where he's gonna go. And it's weird because you kind of set the triangle up on the other side. It's similar to the entry we do from Vale Tudo Guard. Okay, so I'm in a Z guard here. Now, I want to have controls like a cross face. Now, look, you don't want to just solely push his shoulder away. It's both. It's this elbow and this shoulder being monitored. I need to monitor this whole line. Okay? So in a Z guard, I'm not going to always go all the way across. I'm going to start in here at his hip, and I'm crossing my feet like this. Okay? And that allows me to really be able to bite down into his hip. It does not feel good. Okay? So here, what I want to do, guys, is I'm going to pull down here. Right, and essentially, I'm going to be going over his back akin to a Vale Tudo guard in one sense. In the other sense, I'm going to be pulling this out and putting foot on the hip. So it's real. If you go watch our Vale Tudo guard entry, this is almost exactly like a Vale Tudo guard. Okay, once I'm here, I'm pulling this out, right? So this is where it's weird. Like, I'm over here facing this way, but I need to reverse things to get the finish here. Boom. Very tight. Okay, now some additional details. Look, I can create space here and pull him over by going deeper with my Z-guard. Boom. So again, foot in the hip, and this other leg is coming over his back. Well, foot in the hip first, right? And I'm controlling. If he postures or if he doesn't, I'm coming over there. Remember, this can help push you back, where if there's strikes involved, you can defend. Okay? Here. Boom. Very tight. Okay? So, cool triangle. I will say that in the time that I was really getting mileage off of it, people didn't see it coming. Who think at that time I felt like people just weren't doing a ton of triangles from half guard? I had several different ones I work with now. Half guard, knee shield, Z guards, just standard half. And a lot of those moves I actually got from Hobson Moore, right? He just has a, real interesting thing. I remember watching him in seminars and all his tapes and being like, oh wow, he's just doing triangle armbar omoplata. It's like it's from everywhere, right? Because like I had all of his instructions, every single one would be like, oh, it's just a triangle armbar omoplata here, or like something basic. But his entries were very creative, very interesting. And I was not seeing at that time, and even still on some of it, other people doing those things, right? He's just one of those special people in jiu-jitsu that the way his mind works, it's smaller, lighter weight. His jiu-jitsu is beautiful, right? If you never saw the documentary, Stuart Cooper did a short film about him called Jiu-Jitsu Never Ends, right? And it's like that came out back in that time, right? I remember loving that documentary, and any content you can consume by Hobson Moore. He's even got BJJ Fanatics now, right? That's just in the last couple of years, right? And Flavio Kennup's another guy from Nova. I saw him the day after Hobson released his first BJJ Fanatics instructional, monkey foot passing, right? And I just also trained and done private lessons, trained all week with Fei Zhao, and I'm like talking to him, I'm like, bro, Hobson's instructional, he's doing this. He's like, I know, dude. I was just training with him, and I was like, how's he do that? You know, and it's like, Fei Zhao, he was showing this. I've never seen anybody show this. And he's like, he's always done that, right? But these guys, they all came out of the same rooms, right? Rodrigo Fei Zhao, Hobson Mora, Flavio Kenna, Vitor Shaolin Ribeiro, Bruno Basios, and those guys are special people. So if you haven't checked them out, then guess what? They got instructionals. You can find all sorts of content on these people. Go to a seminar with them. I did a seminar with Bruno probably 3 years ago. I saw him at Pans the other day, right? So look into these people. That's what I'm telling you about. All right.